I don't usually do review videos for any shows or movies, but after looking at a lot online and letting the latest episode of The Mandalorian kind of percolate for a few days, I thought I would give my thoughts on it. I don't think I've seen anyone kind of following along with my train of thought completely. So I just wanted to put that out there. I know it seems that there seem to be two camps for this episode, the ones that really liked it and the ones that really don't. And they all seem to have the same argument. The ones that like it say, it's a fun episode, fun to watch, seems very much like the Clone Wars. And the ones that didn't like it say it's terrible writing, there was no point to it, why did we even have this episode when we only have two left? I'm not in either camp. I'm more in the liked it camp. I did like the episode. Was it the usual action-packed episode that folks want of The Mandalorian? No, but I don't think that was the point of the episode, and I'll get to that in just a minute. I did like it. I thought it was fun. It did seem like a Clone Wars episode, the quest of the week that they were going on, and Clone Wars was fun. Lots of people love the Clone Wars, talk about what a great show it was. So I'm not sure why that type of formula people didn't like in this episode. Maybe they're just expecting a lot of pew pew, a lot of action filled episodes every week. Maybe I'm just old. Maybe a lot of the viewers are just too young to remember how TV used to work. You didn't have instant gratification with your TV shows. You had a long season. Granted, Mandalorian, we only get 8 episodes, which kind of sucks, but you had a season-long show, and there were storylines throughout the entire season. And some episodes you would get a lot that moved that storyline along, and the other episodes you didn't get a whole lot that moved things along. It might just be a couple minutes at the end, like this week's episode. That's the way TV used to work. Oh, my ponytail just broke. Oh, well. That's the way TV used to work. And I think the instant gratification that today's society has gotten used to kind of ruins the way that a lot of people watch and can enjoy TV shows. But beside that, Mandalorian obviously has an arc. This episode, the point of it, I don't think, was to really move the main storyline along until that last little bit at the end. Now, what was the point of the episode? Everyone's like, chasing the droids, it's like a CSI episode. I don't think what Din and Bo were doing in this episode was the point of the episode. I think the point was to see how they worked together on this mission that they had, this, quest of the week. I know there's two camps in this train of thought, the ones that kind of like the idea of there being a coming, relationship between Din and Bo, and those that are like, ugh, no. I'm in the first camp. I like it. I think they work well together. I like seeing them together. I think they could be, a good power couple. And I think now people out there are going to completely disagree with me, but I think that was the point of this whole episode, was to see how they work well together. They both have strengths and weaknesses, and those strengths and weaknesses fit well together. You see him kicking the battle droids, which I thought was hysterical, but kind of sad at the same time, because you know why he was kicking those battle droids, because of what they did to his family. And then you see Bo later saying, you kicking those battle droids is not helping. He's like, well, I got the results that we wanted, didn't I? Strengths and weaknesses throughout the entire episode. They back each other up. They support each other. And I think that's what this episode was supposed to show us. It was not a coincidence that there were 2 other couples that we see in this episode. You've got the Mon Calamari prince with the Quarren captain at the beginning, and apparently their relationship is not going to work. And then you have the royal couple that did work. In both cases, you've got a royal on one side and kind of a, elected official, something like that on the other. First one, on the ship, it didn't work out. The second one, it obviously has worked out. She was royalty, he was ex-imperial, they met, and they've made it work, and they seem to work well together. Their planet seems to be flourishing. And I think those were put there very intentionally. John and Dave do not put things in these shows without a reason. It's nothing in these shows is they're just, oh, oops, yeah, look what just kind of showed up. There's a reason for everything. And I think those two relationships are the two paths that Den and Bo could take. Is it going to work out? Or is it not going to work out? I don't know. I would love to see it work out. I love seeing them together. The way they bicker back and forth already, kind of like a married couple. I think it's adorable. Am I going to be devastated if it doesn't? No, I'm not that kind of viewer. It's not going to ruin Star Wars for me if they do that. There's going to be people that are like, ew, no romance in Star Wars. Granted, there hasn't been a lot in Star Wars, but you do have Han and Leia and Anakin and Padme. Both of them, ended up together. Obviously, Anakin and Padme's, the way it showed on screen, at least in the movies, was a bit clunky and odd. But I think the Clone Wars did a better job of filling that out. But story-wise, it could work. Does the story need it? No, it doesn't. But it can fit into the story. It's not going to be something just thrown in there and it just doesn't work at all. It could work. Are they going to go that path? I don't know. I know a lot of people want to say, oh, she's so much older than him. No, she's not. From my understanding, she was probably late teens, early 20s at the end of the Clone Wars, and he was, 8, 10 years old. So she's now late 40s, early 50s. He's late 30s, early 40s. And if maybe I imagined it, but I thought I read somewhere back when the show first started that Den was supposed to be about 39 years old for season 1. So that would put him in his early 40s by now. Probably maybe about a 10-year age gap. That's nothing. There was that age gap between Anakin and Padme, and I think there was a bigger age gap between Han and Leia. People didn't have a problem there. I don't have a problem with that. 10 years, that's nothing. If they were 18 and 8, that would be different, but they are adults. So that's not an issue with me. But I think the whole point of this episode was to show how they work together, how they support each other. I could be completely wrong. People are going to disagree with me, but that was kind of my take on it after letting it sit for a few days, rewatching it a few times, looking at other people's reviews, things like that. That's just the way I saw it. Is that the way it's going to go? Who knows? I can't wait to see episode 23 on Wednesday. Some of the comments from people at Celebration that did get to see that early screening of it said it's really good. So I'm looking forward to that. The interview with Brendan Wayne back several weeks ago where he said that this episode was going to have a really, what was the way he put it? A really intense, emotional something between Den and Bo. Up until now, I thought probably like a lot of other people that it was going to be a fight for, something over the Darksaber. Oh, hi, kitty. Over the Darksaber. Obviously, that's not going to happen now since he gave it to her. But I'm really, really looking forward to that. And the Darksaber. A lot of people saying, well, he's, why even give it to him? We wanted to see him with it. I kind of wanted to see him with it too. He looks awesome holding that thing lit up with that Beskar armor. But come on, the man did not want that. He did not want the responsibility that came with it. Would he have made a good leader? I think so. I think he definitely has that potential and it could still happen. I think sometimes the best leaders are the ones that don't want it in the first place. But the man did not want that Darksaber. He has been trying to give that to her since the end of season 2. So while I was kind of expecting it, kind of not expecting it, it's fine. It's still possible he could end up with it in one of the last 2 episodes. I don't know. This season has continuously kind of kept me on my toes. Things happening that I'm like, well, I never really expected that to happen. And that's good. That's good. That's the way TV shows should be. Should keep you guessing and not knowing where things are going to go. So episode 23 coming up. I can't wait to see it. Y'all can agree with me, disagree with me on my thoughts on this episode, but that is kind of the way I took it, and everyone can have their opinion. So peace out, y'all. Enjoy Mando next week.